B. Hall, who is being escorted in by Ms. Susan Stanton. I'm going to come to the city with Mr. Hall. Mrs. D. Matthews being escorted in by Mr. Willis Stanton. That's Ms. Matthews, and she's being escorted in by Mr. Stanton. So, if you all would give it up for me one more time for Mr. Michael Hall. I think they kind of got lost, but that's okay. The buses get lost every now and then, but we just diving right on in. Thank you so much. And I am, by the way, Mrs. Juanita Graves, and I will be emceeing the program. And at this time,
glory be to God. Again, I say glory be to God. Greeting to all. Welcome aboard, family and friends. Join in with us to celebrate the retirement of Mr. Michael B. Hall, better known as Mike Hall.
Greetings to all. It is with distinct pleasure that we give you the occasion for this evening. We are going to do as Romans chapter 13, verse 7 says. We are here to give honor to whom honor is due. We are honoring Mr. Michael D. Hall for service to the DeKalb County School System for 28 years and Rockdale County School System for 7 years, totaling 35 years of dedication and service to many boys, girls, men, and women.
Mr. Hall is such a blessing to us all. Your wisdom, strength, time, honesty, and abiding love are just some of the remarkable traits that you have shown us. It is comforting to know that you are always ready to listen, encourage, inspire, and extend a helping hand whenever the need arises.
Mr. Hall is a man that is highly favored by many. His love for people is shown everywhere he goes. When Mr. Hall is present, there is a sense of security. His love protects you. You know he loves you by his actions. His actions always speak louder than his words. You know when he speaks that he will be moved by the words spoken. Today, we just want to reflect back on a man who has touched each of our lives in a positive way.
Mr. Hall, you are a true seasoned saint. True seasoned saint. So caring, loving, compassion, giving, and all of that. May God's amazing love abide with you always. You have taught us how to overcome adversaries. You have taught us how to triumph over tragedy. You were there for us to help us bounce back from our setback. We thank you for your encouraging, helping us being the source of life to us. Lives have been touched and changed in so many ways because of your encouraging words. You have said them often and over in many ways: steadfast, pray, have faith.
Mr. Hall, we want to honor and give you just a little bit of what you have given to us. This evening, we want to make you laugh because many days you have made us laugh. What a joyous man you are. This evening, we want to make you cry because many days you cried with us. What a wonderful man you are. This evening, we want to give you love because of many days you have loved us. What a caring man you are. This evening, we want to support you in your retirement because you have supported us that made us feel supported. What an awesome man you are. This evening, we are glad you are a part of our life. This is the occasion.
You are a shining star in all our lives. May your light continue to shine, that men and women may see the good in your work. Many thanks to family, friends, former co-workers for coming out and sharing this day with us. We love you, and may God continue to bless you. Let us all give it up. Give it up. We love you.
Love you. We love you dearly. That's what's making me try to do this little solo tonight. I make any mistakes, you know, y'all just look over there. I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. I've had some weary days, and some sleepless nights. But when I look around, hey, I think things over. Hey, all my good days outweigh my bad days. I won't complain. Sometimes the clouds lay low. I can hardly see the road. I'll ask the question, Lord, why so much pain? But He knows what's best for me. Although these weary eyes, they can see. So I'll just wave my hand and I'll say, thank you, Lord. When friends are few, I'll say, thank you, Lord. When your bills are due, you don't know where the money's coming from, I'll still say, thank you, Lord. I won't complain.
Said encore after that. Mr. Hall is smiling really hard, and that's one of my.
As I sat at the table, I started to look around and I thought that maybe I'm just in the wrong place. I kept hearing all these things being said. My brother. Anyway, Kevin came over to me. Kevin told me he wrote his own Bible, so we understand what's going on, Kevin. We're going to get it straight right now, okay? All right, so they kind of bamboozled me. You see, my baby sister was the liaison between the family and this, and so she put everybody on the program but her. You know, and then they put me first, okay? And then they put a time up there. I think they're trying to send me a message. I'm a timely person, but I'm going to slap the timer tonight. When I thought about what I'd say, I really struggled. I've done a lot of these in my career, but this was a struggle for me. This is my brother. somebody that we're all proud of, even though I'm gonna tell the truth on the camera, we're still proud of it. And so I struggle with this and I struggle with this. So I said, well, I won't tell them about how my baby sister, one day when we were small, how when he was agitated. Those of you who know might know he's an agitator. He was agitating Rita.
Yes, sir.
And we were all in my mother's bedroom. And Rita just had enough of it. She picked him up by the seat of his pants and threw him across the chair. And we all ran out the bedroom. So I said, I won't tell them all the details about that. I said, I won't tell them about the time when he was younger and I was protected. I protected all of them coming up. They'll tell you, if there was a fight, my dad come home, I'm sitting in my bedroom waiting on the whip. But if you put your hands on one of those hall children, this one's gonna get you. Well, Christmas, we out for Christmas break. And Mike and the biggest guy in the neighborhood, right in front of our house, got into a scuffle about a skate key. You know, we skate in the street, skate. They fight over skate key. So here come Big Brother to the rescue. So I started fighting with the guy. Mike politely picked up his skates, got the skate key, moved a few feet down the sidewalk, sat down while we were fighting. I'm not going to tell them about that. And then I said, well, I won't even tell them about how competitive he was and we were as children. He never wanted me to beat him. But now, I had to think about me too. Can't beat me. So there were times, I can't tell you how many times, I barely made it home before the rocks hit the door going into my house. I'm diving in the house. So my mother said, that's it, the end. If you can't play on the same team, you can't play, period. So we had to start playing on the same team, rather than me running and ducking rocks. So I said, well, I won't even tell them about that. I said, and I won't tell him about how he didn't want to follow his big brother to high school. He decided, he didn't want to follow big brother. He was going to help integrate Fulton High School. Well, that lasted about a week. My mom and dad didn't go to school. We all understood that. They went to school with PTA meetings, but they didn't go to school to deal with that discipline. But Mike and a couple of buddies, after one of the little boys of the other youth, did something, said something. But they went into the locker room at Fulton High School and tore up the locker room. So I wanted to tell them that I wasn't going to tell about that either. My mother went over, and after they decided not to send them to jail and suspended, she moved them over to private where we were. But all this is about Mike and Mike being Mike. Mike wanted to be independent, wanted to achieve on his own, not wanting anything to be associated with me or Jenna or anything. He wanted to be Mike. He wanted everybody to understand that what he did happened because of him. And if you looked at the program, you saw his achievements. Where he was honor student, high school, college, baseball, this, basketball, that, championship baseball team in 1973, captain of the basketball team in Morehouse for 3 years. Well, in 1973, when he was on the baseball team and with the championship, guess who the coach was? Big Brother. And then there was a time at Morehouse that all of the major sports teams were captained by the Hall brothers. We took some joking and this, but he was captain, I was captain. And that was just us. Mike, we're real proud of him. We laugh, we joke, and even now he takes care of, if I'm not well, every day, he goes, you okay? I just want to make sure you're okay. You need anything? Okay, Mike. You sure? Okay, Mike. Okay. So the thing I want to say as I sit down is this. Mike is an achiever. He's achieved a lot. We're very proud of what he had done. Okay? And as I thought about this, I thought about how did all this come about? It came about because of where we came from. It came from two parents who were hard-working people. Not well educated, because neither one of them finished the 9th grade. And being a school administrator, knowing school research, the research says that your kids more likely to be successful if the parents are college graduates, and more specifically, if the mother is a college graduate. But we beat all the odds. There are 4 of us, college graduates, advanced degrees, school leaders, government leaders, internal revenue auditors, all it all goes back to our mother and our father. Okay? So I wanted to just say that because I think, as we look at Mike's retirement, he's the last one of us to retire. He hung in there long, then the rest of us threw it up a long time ago. So I thought I needed to say that about our parents because I think they deserve it. My daddy used to say all the time, and if my grandson were here, he'd tell you for me. If I asked him, I said, Bradley, what did great-grandpapa used to say? He'd say, great-grandpapa used to say, if your last name Hall, you're an athlete. So I want to add to that right now. If your last name Hall, and Mike Hall especially, you are an achiever. Thank you.
And I'm considered the older sister. I don't know about that. I received notification that I was on program a few days ago. So I think Basil has said everything that I need to say, but I'll just do an amendment to something. First of all, when I sat there and I heard that Michael was a saint, I knew I was in the I've been praying and praying that God would save him, and he was saved all the time. But I thank God for my parents also, God-fearing parents that brought up four of my brothers and 2 sisters. And we are all very different. Now the DNA testing, that's a different story. We are related, and I thank God for that. This morning when I was looking over my comments that I was going to make, and you always make a mistake when you have someone listen to what you're going to say. And my husband said, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I said, oh my God, I can't do all of this at the last minute. But I want to say that Michael, my brother, is a compassionate person, and you know that. He's a fun-loving person, and you know that. He's a true friend, and you know that. And he will tell you the truth, and you also know that. He's a motivator, and he will tell you what he thinks about you and what you should know, and then he will eat your lunch or your dinner. Whatever food you got prepared, he's ready to eat. So I can't tell any more stories than this last one, Michael. I remember years ago, and this was years ago because you were a baby, And this was the beginning of a little trick that he learned. He has big eyes, as we all know. And the trick was, if any of my aunts or my parents were getting ready to reprimand him, his eyes got 10 times bigger than they usually are. And my mother would say, oh my Lord, I can't whip him, I can't spank him. And that was his little trick to get out of being reprimanded. I salute him today because he is a true friend. Like Basil said, he's always checking on us to make sure that we're okay. And anytime you can have a brother like that, what more can you ask for? I guess a saint.
They did win.
They won. They got the phones out. Everybody hold your phone out.
Y'all take your time.
Good afternoon. We've all heard the saying, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So had I been asked some 20 plus years ago to place Mr. Hall in one of those categories, I would have insisted that it was for a reason. To provide me with whatever guidance possible so that I might successfully graduate from Southwest DeKalb High School and matriculate on to UGA. He was often there to tell me how to prepare for college and what to expect of college. Life continued to happen, I grew up, and so I thought his work was done. But even beyond college, Mr. Hall seemed to always be there if I needed guidance, and so I thought perhaps his friendship was for a season. He guided me through contemplating the purchase of my first car. He provided some sound feedback as I evaluated failed relationships. Life continued to happen, I grew up, and so I thought his work was done. Who would ever have thought, Mr. Hall, some 20 plus years ago, that in fact your purpose in my life was for a lifetime? As you would later introduce me to your colleague and my husband, Tony Blackman. It has become clear to me that our lifetime friendship has taught me lifetime lessons and things that I've been able to build upon in order to have a solid foundation. So, Mr. Hall, I've accepted those lessons. I appreciate you for each and every one of them and will continue to put them to use as life continues to happen. And an aside, Tony apologizes for not being able to be here this evening. He's in Ohio at a conference, but he admits that he owes you big for a wonderful wife like me. So from Tony and me, we congratulate you on your retirement, a well-deserved reward for a job well done.
Proud, I know, and Mike and I go back 40 years, okay? But, you know, I'm kind of like Basil. All the accolades I heard up here, and I felt like the lady who went to her husband's funeral. She was sitting on the pew, crying her eyes out. And all of a sudden, she stopped crying. Because people saying such wonderful things about her husband. So she nudged her oldest son who was sitting next to her and said, go up there and see who's in that stand. I had to keep looking at my program to make sure I was the right. But Mike and I really met when we were in college. Now, I consider Mike my best friend. I had two best friends. One was Curtis Bell, the other was Mike Hall. Curtis Bell died a few years ago, so Mike is my best friend now. And sometimes people say, you know, I'm 15 years older than Mike. Well, how can you have a best friend who's 15 years younger? It's really hard to explain, you guys. As I said many times, I love Mike as much as one man can love another man and still be a man. And also, you know, Mike went to the business world first. And I really was a senior when Mike was a freshman, so I really didn't know him very well. I knew basic much better at Morehouse. Mike, when I first saw Mike, he was walking around the campus with his nose so high, I didn't know who he was. He cared who I was at that time. You have to get to know Mike to love him. You really do. Your first impression of Mike is not going to be good. He's kind of like mold or something, kind of grows on you. When I got to get basketball job at right there kind of high school, I was looking for an assistant coach. And you know, at first, when I first met Mike, I didn't think he would be the one that I would call to help me. But I happened to go to some Morehouse games after I had finished, and I would see Mike on the floor playing, and I could see his leadership abilities even at that time. So when I got the head job, I called a friend of mine at the Morehouse and asked if he knew what this guy was. He said he did. We got in touch with each other, and he was my assistant for a few years, and he got the girls job. Now, as my assistant, I really thought I'd get it big because we had practices together, and I knew how much basketball he knew, and his great leadership. And then the first game on the first play, he got to take a foul. And I said, what in the world? I didn't say world either. So you remember that, Mike? Another time Mike got to take a foul, we were playing in Newton County, which is our biggest rival. The referee came onto the table to report the foul. Nobody said anything. The referee reported the foul, started back on the floor. He stopped, looked back at Mike. And you know, Mike looked mean. He looked back at Mike and said, take my foul right here. I said, well, what? He didn't say anything. I was like, well, you look at me, coach. His sister said something about those big eyes. I guess he rolled over. He later got the girls basketball job, his basketball job. And for every game, at the time that he was at Rockdale, he was there for 7 years. He was my assistant coach, whether he was the head girls coach or not. I was his assistant coach when he got to be the girls head coach, and we sat on each other's bench every game. And you have to know that all 3 years that he was the girls head basketball coach at Rockdale County, he won the region. He was a great coach and a great guy. Okay? He was a real smart guy. I knew he was smart. I've never been in class with him, but I knew he was smart because he related to baseball. He was a real smart guy. For you young parents out there, I'm sure there's some out there, when they talk about their parents, when his family talks about the parents, you know, that shows you how important parenting is. And it has nothing to do with books. Okay? It has to do with what you have in here and the vision you have for your children. And some of the greatest things that happened to me since Mike and I have been associated is I got a chance to meet his wonderful family. In fact, we all went on a cruise together a few years ago, and that was one of the highlights of my life. I got to meet Paul and all his sisters, his brothers-in-law, and we just had a wonderful time. And, with that, Mike, I'm not going to tell it all. Okay? But they said you were saint. I hate to leave this with you, but Mike ain't no saint.
And that's your friend. I hate to see you in this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To Mr. Hall, to his family, to the honored guest, and I would be remiss if I did not also say to Mrs. Mayfield, who's a dear friend and whose husband has brought so much to this part of our community. I am so humbled and honored to be here and to say a few words about my dear friend, Mike Hall. Mike and I have known each other for about 35 years, so I've known him both professionally and personally. And I think you've got his professional resume in front of you. You know the type of person Mike is, you know about his excellence in education, you know about his commitment to you as employees and as co-workers. And I think you know about Mike and his commitment to just education in general, to athletics. And I think most of you know Mike personally. The one thing that attracted me to Mike Hall and superseded everything that he had done was his love for children. And I would be remiss if I did not tell you, in the years that Mike served as the principal at Southwest DeKalb, the assistant principal, Mike was the type of administrator that went far beyond any line of responsibility. If a child needed help, Mike was the first person to be there. Not at the school, but at that child's home, at that mentor's home, knocking on the door, getting that child out of trouble, meeting that child's parents down at the jailhouse. Whatever he could do, Mike was there for children. And that's what stole my heart, because we have a lot of people who are in this profession, a lot of people who are committed to education. But you know, as Basil was saying earlier, it's got to come deeper than a commitment. It's got to come from your heart. And Mike always had time to go and take care of the children in DeKalb County, as well as the others, as well as the employees in DeKalb County. So for that, I am forever indebted, because that's what we are all about in this community. Making a difference and knowing that our children stand on our shoulders. You know, I've listened to all the accolades about Micah being sensitive and caring and committed, and he is all of that. But you know, you have a choice. Being sensitive, being caring, being committed, wanting to make a difference in the lives of people, we all have choices. And that does not come from Morehouse. That did not come from Southwest DeKalb. That came from his parents and his commitment to this God and to himself. Micah made a choice to give of himself to this community and to the boys and girls in this community and to this school community. And Micah, because of that choice you made, we're forever indebted. Micah, you're a wonderful friend, a great leader, a wonderful role model, and we will always love you, always respect you, and admire you. As I close, I have one question I'd like to ask you. How many of you see Micah more now than you did before he retired? Most of us do not. Okay, so Mike, since you make those choices, we'd like for you to make those choices to keep doing what you've been doing all along, okay? We all want to see more of you. Thank you so much.
Didn't I tell you she was one of the sweetest ladies you'll ever meet? I would tell this. There was an occasion, and I got to be with Miss Evers, and after being with her, I went home and I told my husband, I said, "Wow, they're the sweetest people." She always said, "Honey, this, precious, this, darling, this," and I was like trying to emulate it, and I was also saying, "Jesse, Justice." So I was trying to go home and like Miss Evers, but I found out I had to be me. So Mr. Hall, with all that said, my pastor is at another church speaking. There's an opportunity for you to become a saint, because these people have hurt our feelings. So if we hurt, you might have a chance to get your soul right. Because I just want you to know Mr. Phillips is on his way. And we actually have Mr. Kilgore in the house, he can help you out. But we're going to move swiftly, and we're going to be favored with a solo by Miss Jeanette Crowder. You better get that.
Good afternoon. And you are welcome to fill in for me, because my nerves are gone. To the honoree, Mr. Hall, I've known you several years. I don't know how many. I've been working for 11 years, so I think I've known you 10. And the other members who are honoring you today. It's written somewhere in the Bible. I don't read the Bible that much, but you're always supposed to be ready. Anytime you're called on, you're supposed to be ready, regardless of what it is. So when my boss asked me Friday afternoon after 12 o'clock to do this, and my mind started wondering, what can I sing? What can I attempt to sing? So what I'm going to try to sing to you, if I change keys, I'm always used to singing with music. So this is about my 4th or 5th time trying to sing without music. So, as Anthony has already sang the song, I'm going to leave you with this song. And this is Mr. Hall singing this song. If I change keys on you,
That's okay.
blame it on my mind, not my heart. Please the Lord, I'm needing to guide me every day, as I travel narrow ways. Oh yes, though afflictions press my soul, I'm determined to reach my goal. I've got to have Him. I've got to have Jesus all by myself. And one thing we got to do. Every day I pray, Lord, I pray and pray and pray and pray, praying as the Lord Jesus, don't leave me by myself. No, 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 no. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, through the year, come what may, I've got to have Jesus, for I just can't make it by myself. Thank you.
You can give me time to tell the puppy. After this is over, if you'll speak with me briefly, I'll tell you who told us to put him on program, because you know I wouldn't do you like this. You know I'm in love with Mr. Hall, right, Mr. Hall? But there is some refreshers about the thing. We put Mr. Guillory for last, so that'll kind of cushion whatever Mr. Phillips is about to say. Because I wouldn't dare let them leave out him with him being the last person on program to eat you up like he's about to eat you up. And you get full back there, because we don't want you to eat my boss up. Okay, well at this time we're going to have remarks by a co-worker. It says a friend, but we'll see in the end. And also we're going to have remarks by our Executive Director, Mr. David Guillory.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Phillips, and I have 3 adopted uncles: Uncle Basil, Uncle Stroud, Uncle Mike. I've known Uncle Mike about half my life, and he's a bully. I'm sure all of you know that. Uncle Stroud is a bully as well, but Uncle Basil, he's a nice one. He's a nice one. Now, earlier Mrs. Evans was asked if there was anyone who see Uncle Mike all the time, since he's been retired. tired, and I put up both of my hands. You know, I come home with my son from football practice on the regular now, and I see Uncle Mike sitting in my house with my wife and daughter. But let me tell you what he's wearing. Now, I heard all the nice things about Uncle Mike. That's what I call him. And I agree with everything that was being said. I attended high school with Wanda at Lakeside High School. And you know, they told me to stand far away from when I give these remarks, and that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm afraid of these prayers. The last 2 years he was employed with the DeKalb County School System. Uncle Mike would wear the tightest pants. Skin tight. And I, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, I know you already know this, but I'm gonna tell you. And he told me if I got up here and told the story, what he was gonna do to him, let me tell you. You know, he rides his motorcycle now with his old price-high basketball shorts. Like Peachtree Road race shorts. And he's a sensitive guy, and I've always told him that I love him. I tried to give him some sugar one day, he wouldn't kiss me. If you love a man, the way I love you, you should be able to give me some sugar, huh? Right or wrong? Get some sugar tonight. But on a serious note, I want to thank you for all the guidance, all the wisdom that you provided me with, and all of the students of DeKalb County, and also in Rockdale County. You're truly an inspiration to everyone here. You know I love you dearly. I call on him all the time. He calls on me. 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. He's calling me and telling me he needs some furniture moved. But I don't come over there. He's going to come to my house and do it to me. And we only were about 2 miles from each other. And Miss D, I'm tired of paying you to stay with him, but I'm as long as I need to. Congratulations, I wish you Godspeed, and you're definitely a role model to me, and I appreciate all you've done for me and my family. All right, thank you so much.
Mr. Hall, you don't have to worry about me. You're welcome. Good evening. My name is David Guillory. I'm the Executive Director of the Transportation Department, and I work with many of you here tonight. And I would first of all like to say that this is a wonderful occasion. And you know, Mr. Hall is a very humble person, and we tried to get him to have many retirements with us, but of course he kept saying, listen, if you do this, I am not showing up. I would like to thank the Mikeettes for being persistent and consistently contacting Mr. Hall, and they said, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to have it anyway. It's up to you whether you want to be there or not. He's here tonight, and we're here to honor him, and this is a wonderful occasion. First of all, I'd like to say, I think Mr. Hall is one of the greatest individuals that I've ever met on this planet. Because as you all know, he is a humanitarian, and he will help any of you, anytime, any moment, any day, any hour, and you know the rest of it. He will do it. And I believe that he actually looks for situations to do what God really wants us all to do, and that's come together, work together, love one another, and help one another, and that's what he does. That's what I see in him each and every day. Next, he is a leader. And not only that, he is a mentor leader. And you all know what I'm talking about, those of you who work with him. He has a way of coming in and just being just quiet and meek and peaceful and saying, listen, this is how you should do it. In fact, I was supposed to be the supervisor, but I saw this really as a co-leader type situation, because there were times when Mr. Hall would come in and he would say to me, I really think that if you maybe considered this or maybe did it this way or that way, then this would really work out for you. And I respected that, and I trusted him because I know the wisdom that he had when he came to talk to me about it. And I saw how he interacted, and he knew the dynamics of working with individuals in the department or wherever he was working. But he just knew those dynamics. Then finally, he's a friend. He's a friend. And if he is your friend, he is your friend for life. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And you know that you can call on him, you can trust him, and he is there anytime, any hour, any same thing. But let me tell you something, he is also competitive. Someone mentioned that earlier. This is the last thing I want to say. And I'm not going to ask you for a kiss, Mr. Hall. But I want to say this, he is a competitor, and we were friends, right? So we decided what we do is we get together after work, and we would go out and play tennis. And it was a great thing because I needed the exercise. He said he needed the exercise. This was before he started having major problems at the time with his hip. And so we would go out to Panthers Field, and we'd also come here to Georgia Perimeter College to play tennis. And each night I brought all of my Gatorade and towels and everything, tennis rackets, best balls and everything, and Mike would just whip the socks off me. Right? And so one night, we came out right here, Georgia Perimeter College, on the tennis courts, and we were playing a tennis game, and I would say the score was like 50-0, if in my favor on this particular night. And so we took a break, and on the break, I made a huge mistake. I started taunting Mike. I said, you know, I got you now. You know, this is my game. This is my game. I got you tonight. And let me tell you what happened. We came back off this break, and Mr. Hall grabbed his tennis racket. And he got to working that bad hip. He was like, needless to say, you know what happened. He came back and it was as if it was 100 in his favor. Mr. Hall, listen, I love you, and I want to tell you this, we dearly, truly miss you in the transportation department, but I know that I can call you at any time. And once again, I'd like to thank you for your friendship and the person that you are. Thank you very much.
That's your uncle. Have you ever seen anybody that finds absolutely no fault in people? No fault. Mr. Hall, I just want you to know, for every person that get up, you know I got something to say. I think your hip was fine, okay? We got to support him no matter what. That's what he did for us. Do I have any witnesses as district managers? He will support you to the end. So your hip was good. It even made you win. You see? You know, you got to take the bad and make it good. And that's what he did. He took it and he made it good. They put a little plate thing or something like that in there. So, you know, let's see if Mr. Guillory want to meet him now, right? Well, I'm not going to say much because I got to go back to work tomorrow. Mr. Hall, he's retired. And I love you, Mr. Guillory. I just want you to know that. Right now. As a matter of fact, we're at now, R18 now. Okay, so he said it, so I can still come back to work tomorrow. You can beat him anytime you want to. You my athlete. Now y'all give my boss a hand. So we're going to do a few more things and we're going to wrap it up. But for all those that Mr. Hall was a director for, and when I say that, I truly mean that. My husband knows it's no secret that I love my boss. My kids know that it is not a secret that I love my boss, because you're the boss of all bosses. They laughing, I'm for real. Maybe I should just talk to you later. Mike, M is for marvelous, I is for intelligent, K is for kind-hearted, E is for excellent, H is for a happy person, A is for awesome, L is for laughter that you give, and L is for lovable. Mr. Hall, you are truly a lovable guy. Mr. Phillips, now we know why you love him so much. You can kiss him anytime, but please pick up the kisses on the table from here on. At this point, and this time, we'd like for Miss Beverly Hall, who is Mr. Oh, we got, which one? I'm gonna call all of them. Barker said she didn't come by herself. Call somebody else. We're asking that Ms. Barkley, who was Mr. Hall's last secretary, to please come forward. We're asking that Mrs. Juanita Graves, please come forward. I'm coming. Miss Hold It All. If I were you, I'd get them. Especially if you don't need them to employ you or nothing like that. Tell it all. Tell it all, Mr. Hall. Tell it all. But at this time, we'd like to do just a little bit of presentation. I know y'all think the mic gets about to sing, but they not. We're gonna let Ms. Barkley talk for just a few seconds.
I'm not a talker, so I'm not gonna say all that stuff Ms. Gray was saying, but I will say, I've gone to school with Mike, and I've known him for a very long time, and we go way back. And I didn't know I could be so attached and love him so much, and I'd like to thank him for taking me under his wing, training me, molding me, being patient with me, pushing me and then encouraging me. And I'd like to thank you for allowing me to be part of the group that have made this to happen for you, because it is important to show people that you love them and you care for them. And then to say, I love you, man. I love you. On behalf of the transportation family, we have a little small token here of love that we'd like to present you. Mr. Hall, if you would come up right now, please.
Watch your hip. I love my boss. I said it all day long. I love my boss. Nothing wrong with your hip. Show 'em.
Just a little small token on behalf of the transportation family this year, and the district managers here. Yes. You guys go and just feel that. They're gonna read what
It says to Michael Hall, better known as Mike, celebrating 35 years of service from I-85 corridor, district manager, October 23rd, 2011. To Mr. Hall.
I just want to say thank you, Mr. Hall, for the brief moments that I got to work with you. I really consider you a great leader, a wonderful person. You are a lovable person, and you can just see that your heart is really into helping people, and I love you for that.
To Mr. Michael Hall, who is not only my friend, but a family member. He is there whenever you need him. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to call him. I want to tell you about this incident. I got sick. My family and I went on vacation, and I got very sick, so when I came back, they had to take me straight to the hospital. The strength that we had, and with all his district management, my husband didn't even have to call him. When I was in the emergency room, Willis came out and said, "Oh, Mr. Hall is out there." We didn't call and tell him. That's the bonds that we have. When my grandson was sick, the only thing I had to say was, "Mr. Hall, I got to go." You don't have to tell him where to go, because he's going to meet you at the hospital. That's Mr. Hall, and I want him to know that I love him, my family loves him, and I just want to thank God for bringing him into my life. into our life. I love you.
Mr. Hall, I've been loving you since Southwest DeKalb. When I was at Southwest DeKalb, I used to fix his lunch every day. He wouldn't let anybody else fix his lunch with me, so. And I appreciate that, and I love you.
I'm sure I've said enough, Mr. Howard. I just think that you are definitely an awesome person. We all have stories that we can share. And I've had a lot of tragedy in my life up under you. Lost a couple of brothers, lost a grandmother, and lost a mother. And every time Mr. Hall was there to support me, and not only Mr. Hall, but his family, his Matthews, they came right behind him. And it meant a lot. I've seen you do for other people and not even talk about it. And so that's genuine love. And yes, we did the eagle because you taught us how to soar like eagles. I didn't want to soar like an eagle without you. It didn't mean that I could not. I just did not want to be without you because your support is true. It's real. You don't tell people that you support them and then you walk away, you do it, you go all the way. There are a few men in my life that I love dearly and I hold in my heart. And if I were to say I have about 4 of them, you're one of them. And I truly mean that, Mr. Hall. I love you. I pray that God will give you everything your heart desires. And I pray that you want for nothing more than that. I pray that you have good health, good peace, and a good paycheck coming to you. I love you, Mr. Hall.
And to us, yes, he is a seasoned saint.
So at this time, we really do appreciate everybody, and we did not want to overlook anybody, but I would like for all of his family either to stand or either just wave your hand, all his family members. I'm not talking about y'all that paid to get in, I'm talking about, paid to get in the family, because I hope all of us paid. If not, please see me barking with your But what I'm saying is, I believe we have some aunts and some sister-in-laws, some brother-in-laws, nieces, nephews, probably some grandsons and cousins, auntie, uncles. All y'all young people, now I know y'all can stand. I see an auntie over there, she went into, I can touch your aunt. She went over there, she fixed her own plate. She's like, I know what I want on my plate. I believe that's what she's probably saying, huh? This the aunt that can bake the cakes. Is that her? See that? I see you talk. So we want to say thank you all for letting Mr. Hall be a part of our lives. And just quickly, we're going to take about 3-4 minutes, because we got about 25 minutes for all of y'all to help us clean up. Yeah. So we want to be a part of his life. This a part of it. Piece of plate in the trash can. Keep your rice up off the table. But for all of those, the family members, anybody that's here, co-workers, if you want to quickly say something, you got about 30 seconds. As my pastor said, I'm going to give you 15 seconds to get your praise in. If you want to, please feel free to do that, because we don't want you to come this far and not be able to say some words. Please don't cry on the mic, because I got to get back up here. So anybody, is there anybody in the audience that did not get the opportunity to say something that would like to say something? We're not forcing anybody to say anything bad about him anymore. Anybody got anything good or bad, you can come. Mr. Phillips, you're finished. That's it.
I'm not big on mics. Mr. Hall, I just want to thank God for allowing you to be a part of my life. I just thank God for that, and I thank God for. I just everybody we meet in life is for a reason. And I'm seasoned, and I thank God. Mine, I hope mine hadn't ended. And there was something else I needed to say. I'm just grateful. I'm always blank. I'm just grateful to be a part of, to have known you along the way. Last 10 years, I'm just grateful.
Anybody else? Okay, then at this time, okay, we got one more. I'm gonna do like my pastor. If you wanna come on up here, like, come right there. Because we do want you to feel free to have something to say. Are you pro or con, Mr. Hall? That's what I need to know.
Am I in your way?
No, I just want to say a few words about Mr. Hall. Mr. Hall and I used to be neighbors, and we have come to be close friends for 33 years. It will be my 33rd year coming up. And so when I was working in Alabama, I used to come home. Mike, the family was going to cut my yard. We were very close. And I started working with him and Miss Edwin and all, helped me get a job. And so I really appreciate Mike and all his family. Some of them don't really know me, but we are very close. We've been close for years. And he is a very good man. He's real close to me. He's just like I said, we're just like brothers. Like Mr. Collins said, we are very close. And Mike, I appreciate you for the utmost, man, and I love you just like I'm not gonna kiss you. I'm not gonna kiss you. But I will give you a hug.
Yeah, Mr. Hall hired me, so I really hope that I haven't made him ashamed, and if I have, Mr. Hall, keep it to yourself.
I'm a bus driver. I retired last year with 41 years. And Mr. Hall was one of the best bosses I ever had. He was so good to you. Wasn't in office that much, but he always showed respect. All the drivers loved him. You know, you usually have somebody to say something bad about somebody. You never said nothing bad about you, Mr. Hall. And I want to tell you something. I'm always going to be a bus driver. You know, once you're a bus driver, you always want. It never leaves you. The people, the kids, and the parents is wonderful. I love Mr. Hall, and I'm going to tell you, nobody takes one's place. They might come in and do the work, but they ain't going to take one's place. And they definitely won't take yours, and everybody's going to miss you. And I love you too, Mr. Hall. And I'm going to try to stay in as long as I can. I thought it was nice of them to invite me. I'm glad they did.
At this time, I would like to say, before Mr. Hall comes up and make his remarks, I would like to say again, thank you to Mr. Cleveland Dollison for the food well done. If we would give it up again for him and his staff, thank you so much for your service. Also, we'd like to say thank you to Ms. Carolyn Bracewell, who did have to leave on some family matters. She did do the cake. We want to have a little bit of time to give the cake out. She did put some things on there that she wanted me to let you all know in case you didn't get to see it. But in each corner, one corner is for him being a boss. It has the different boss things on it. One corner, if you know Mr. Hall, you know he loved his home and you know he loved gardening. She put those on there, as well as the big M for Morehouse, not for Mike, but it's for Morehouse. Don't get it confused. Also, she put some sports things on there because of him being athletically inclined, or should I say, used to be. Mr. Hall, I'm just trying to act like him, but you know the real me. Also, on your table, we do need to save out a few of those, but if you would, the greatest athlete in my life, amen. You are. You're great. I never seen you play sport, but I read all that stuff they put in there. I never knew you got all those awards in sports. Now, I knew he was highly intelligent, and I know Mr. Bates will want to get credit for that too, along with his parents, but I didn't know you would, I mean, all that. I don't even know how they remember all that. I can't even remember what I did in high school. That was the other day, saying like, what'd you say? Oh, he said you used to play kickball. Well, those, there's 3 of them in each box. If you, I don't know, you know, we can do it by family, whoever first come, first serve, but all I know is we gotta save Miss Stanton baby's song, and we gotta save Miss Paige grandbaby's song. But if you would, you take those balls, and Mr. Hall has a marker up there, and he's going to sign them. And please see me at the door for the $50 contribution for his signature. I am producing and promoting him. Yes, I am. Just in case. Just in case I need a little extras. And I will share. So he will take those, if you would, and he can sign them as we're cleaning and leaving. Cleaning. Say it with me. Cleaning. And leaving. At this time, I am very happy to say, Mr. Hall, on your retirement celebration, we love you. We thank everyone for sharing in this joyous, because it could have been sad, but it's a joyous occasion. We love you all for being a part of it. I want to say thank you to Ms. Stanton and Ms. Barkley, who made sure that it happened even though he didn't. So I just came on in, because you know I'm scared of them now, Mr. Hall. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Miss Marcia, she just stand in the background. She'll smile like whatever you need. And Miss Paige, she not gonna bother me either. But Miss Stanton and Miss Barkley, they want to make sure this happened. And Miss Stanton, y'all did it. You did a good job. We want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, I think I would be remiss to not finish up. You know, I got on that food and I just got stuck. Then I told y'all to get that man a hand. But also on the committee is Ms. Barkley, Ms. Marshall, Ms. Page, and Ms. Stanton, and little bitty me. It has been my pleasure to do this program, Mr. Hall. I am yours truly, Juanita Graves.
Excuse me, before Mr. Hall come, let everyone give Miss Juanita Graves a big applause.
Y'all see me and Ms. Marshall, we the youngest district managers they are, but all the district managers come to me when they retire. We give them a sweet rally. We still have them. They don't get long as long as they coming to me.
Well, can you hear me? I'm at a loss for words, really, truly. I'd really like to say just thank you to each and every one of you for being here. It shows that you care, and everybody in here I've had some personal contact with at some point in time and had some type of relationship or relationships that were meaningful, productive, and effective, and emotional. I don't want to start calling names because I'd have to call every name that's sitting here in order to not be somebody that's important, because everybody has been important. I would like to say, I'd like to piggyback on what my brother did say about hard work and commitment and what my parents taught me in life, and not just hard work and commitment, but love and care. And I think as a family, as we came along, we were poor, and we didn't know we were poor, because we were just overwhelmed with love and support from our parents. So we thought we were rich. We just thought we were sitting on top of the world. And that's the most important thing that anybody can have. It's the most important thing that anybody can give to another person, is love and support. You know, so I learned that a long, long time ago. My parents have been gone for a long time. My father died in 94. My mother died in 1983. As a matter of fact, October the 19th, just a few days ago, marked the 28th anniversary of my mother's death. Well, when we were young, at one time my parents had pretty good jobs. My father worked at the railroad and my mother worked at the airlines. And you know, within a matter of a few months, both were very seriously ill and never worked another day in their lives. I was just, at that time, I think about 9 years old. And I had to go to Cincinnati and stay for a year with my aunt because you know, my family wasn't financially able to support us here. We didn't have a car. My brother and I both played sports. We played 3 sports at the high school where we were, and we stayed after school every day. Well, we missed the bus, and we had to try to get home the best way we could. There were nights that we finished playing basketball on a Tuesday night, and back then they started games at 7 o'clock, not 5 and 6. We'd finish up at 11 o'clock at night, you know, 6, 7, 8 miles from home, no way to get there. We walked many, many nights to get home, and we just made sacrifices, but we still didn't know we were poor. Today, So we didn't have a car. That was obvious. We had to walk home. We couldn't call our parents. Today, I own about 5 cars, and I probably own about 100 in my life. And people always say, "Why you got so many cars?" I say, "Because we didn't have one when I was little." I want to make sure that I don't ever run out. If God is with me. But I do want to acknowledge a couple of people. And first person I want to stand, if she doesn't mind, is my aunt. And she's the only sister that my mother has, her brother that's living currently. And you know, she was always like a mother to me. It still is, even this day. But what I want to say to you, when you talk about hard work and talk about, you know, doing things that are historical and notable, she was the first lady in the state of Georgia to carry mail. The very first lady. Also, I'd like for Mrs. Edwards to stand. And most of you, if not all of you, know Mrs. Edwards, but Mrs. Edwards was the first lady chairperson for the DeKalb County School System. All the fine things she said about me, she's more wonderful than that. And we have been friends since we met, you know, many years ago. And when we say friends, we're talking about, you know, recently she lost her mother in Montgomery, Alabama. And, you know, Dee and I were there. Recently, her brother celebrated his birthday in Montgomery, Alabama. We were there. Her father's ill right now, and I know that's touching her to her heart, and we'll be there as well. But that's what friendship is all about. And I can go on and talk about everybody in here the same way, because we've had those type of personal contacts. Again, my district managers that I left most recently sort of took the show, but Debbie and Joyce and Alma left after that time. Y'all stand as well, because these ladies, I had the people, they took me upon their wings when I came in. And I know sometimes Mr. Glaze wondered, you know, what Mr. Glaze was doing with me all those times, helping me out, taking care of me. You know, my birthday came about, or whatever, Boston's Day, or, I mean, these people just, this was not an act. I know some of you said here and say, well, I can't believe all this thing you said. I know we're making it up. This was real. Okay, these are the kind of people they are. And it's hard to find people as supportive, as loving, and as hard workers. They got the job done. But you know, we did a lot of other things, and we were there, always there for one another. And being there for one another makes a difference in whatever you're doing. And you know, as we came up, you know, we played team sports. You know, and there's no I in team. As most of you know, or all of you know, there's no I in team. If you're going to win as a team, then you have, every team member has to support every team member. It has to be in it for the team and not for themselves. And that's the kind of people we have here. So again, I love you. And again, those people have come up and told you, you know, how great of friends we are. Mitchell, who I lived next door to for 30 plus years, Cleveland Stroud, who, you know, I've been with for many years. And you know, we were together yesterday at the football game. You know, he picked me up about 7 o'clock in the morning. He's a politician. You can tell as he stood up here tonight that he's a politician. He's truly a politician, okay? He's a councilman in Rockville County right now. So he's an elected politician. He always tells me, he said, Mike, you never make it as a politician. I truly would, because I don't have that type of, whatever it takes to be that person. But Cleveland is a great guy. And I always call, every time I call, I talk to him every day. I always say, well, what the crooked politician doing today? We're going to take care of some crooked business. It's all fun and games. You know, Mr. Phillips came up and said a lot of things, and he's been very supportive as well, and a good guy and a hard-working person. But you know, even here, I have with me my very first student, 2 of them, to be honest with you. My very first basketball player, but I'll start with my very first student as, if her husband will allow her to stand up, she claims she's in charge, but she's really not. But Nikki, can one stand up for a minute? My very first student as a teacher. I did coach basketball down there. She kept my books for 4 years and so many other things. She did very efficient, very effective, you know, an excellent person. Mr. Sitwell, my very first basketball player over there, and I coached him. I didn't tell you that, you know, that first year that we had down there, we only won one game. And, y'all laughed, we were crying. But after that, we started taking names, baby. They knew about us all over. Everywhere after that, and we really built some tremendous teams. And, you know, I left Rockdale County in 1983. And I went there with some degree of uncertainty and reluctancy. I left there with tears in my eyes because it was like home after 7 years. And I went to Towers High School in 1983. And I met a family there that I've been with since 1983. Now, I'm gonna say this to you, and I have to say this, that when I got to Towers, you don't know what's going on, so people start to advise you. You know, so this one guy comes over to me, he points over to a group of ladies, parents over there, he says, those are gonna be your greatest enemies. Well, one of those ladies turned out to be my greatest friend. Her daughter played for me, and I'm gonna let her daughter stand. She made All-State on that team. We were 24-2, and not only from 1983 to now, we still have a relationship with Tangela, who's married now, Travis, and this Cora, who's a great relationship. And again, I can go on and on and on. And, you know, there are people out here that mean so much to me that I have not acknowledged. I do have, I guess since I'm talking about first now, when you go all the way back to Miss Barkley, now I go back to the 8th grade. And Miss Thomas, I think, Miss Carrier, I'm sorry. Miss Carrier was Miss Thomas until a week ago when she got married to Mr. Carrier. Mr. Carrier, can Miss Carrier, Thomas, stand up? Please stand up. We go all the way back to the 8th grade and Miss Barkley, we go back to the 8th grade in high school. Now I go back a little further than that, that's not the end. And Miss Donetta, where's Donetta here? Donetta's is where we classmates as well. Donetta went high school as well. Donetta was captain of the cheerleading squad. But I go a little further back, all the way back to the kindergarten. And they did let me in. It was tough. My parents had to beg them, but they did finally let me in the kindergarten. Dorothy Pitt. Dorothy, we stand up at it. Dorothy and I actually were kindergartners together. I did play a few sports, and I see only one of my colleagues from high school that I played sports with, but a phenomenal guy. This guy's brother, who at that time used to run around and with us, and he actually served as like a guardian to his brother because I think his parents had passed away. Did a great job. His brother has since passed, but his brother, who my brother had an opportunity to later on coach in high school, they won the state championship. But his brother is debatably the very best athlete to come through Georgia. His brother, a guy by the name of Flanagan, Anthony Flanagan, but this is Pat Flanagan. Pat and I played on the basketball team together. It's a small world, and so many people came today from so many different aspects of life. And what I'm saying to you, each and every one of you, that I appreciate what you do and how you do it. And somebody, said up here a little while ago, I always treat people well. You don't ever know what's going to happen. And the thing I want to say too, and this is the last thing I say, you build relationships. And you can make a bad relationship a great relationship. That's up to you as individuals to do that. And when I was at Towers High School, I worked under Ms. Connie Sanders, who is here right now. And I was the arrogant basketball coach and thought I owned the school, and Connie was trying to be the assistant principal, and I wouldn't let her. We had the worst relationship that you could have between two colleagues. And I left later on. I left Towers about 5 years later when I became assistant principal at Southwest DeKalb, and I left Connie at Towers, so that bad relationship was at least separated for a while. But then, lo and behold, Connie came to Southwest DeKalb to be assistant principal. So now we're working together, we gotta build a relationship, you know, because you can't work, you know, as effective as you can possibly work if you got a bad relationship. So we made a bad relationship a great relationship, and as you can see, Connie stand up right there. She had to stand up because you can't hardly see her when she stands up. She's a beautiful lady, and it just lets you know that whatever's in front of you, you can overcome. You can always, you know, you can always turn what people say lemons into lemonade, if that's your choice now. If you don't want to do it, it won't happen. But if you have the commitment and the desire, you can make it happen. So with that being said, I am retired. I am happy people have not seen a lot of me. One reason they hadn't seen a lot of me is because when I left, you know, I didn't want people saying, well, here he is, he's up here, he's creating problems, he's saying this, he's doing that. You know, it's time for a new era. And I have faith in that era, and I support him, and I wish him the best. And you know, Mr. David Guillory, who was the leader in transportation when I was there, you know, was great to me as a person, and I love him to death, just like I care for his family. And his son-in-law and daughter are not here today, and his daughter got married at 18 years of age, straight out of high school. Now, we got people who can't get married at 30 and 35 today and stay together longer than a week, if they make a week. And his daughter married straight out of high school to another young man who was, you know, just about a little older than she was. I think at that time he may have been a sophomore in college or something like that. He wasn't too old. And I, like the rest of the world, did not think that they would make it. I said, goodness, how are they gonna make it? And they're the loveliest couple. She has finished college herself. He has finished Georgia Tech engineering program and Morehouse. He's a Morehouse guy too. I throw that in, but to see a young couple, you know, they've been married now, how long, Mr. Garrett? 5 years. 5 years and still a loving couple. So again, she's teaching kindergarten. Like I said, he has a job with, I know he has some job. Okay, great. But anyway, I love everybody in here. If I didn't call your name, please don't call me one. And thanks again for coming. God bless all of you, and I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
We are going to cut the cake, so as you're cleaning up, we'll cut the cake, and if you want Mr. Hall to sign your ball, Ms. Page, make sure you get